Hello, Cesar. I'm good, thank you.
How are you? Where are you?
I'm in Australia.
Oh. How is it? Do you have any questions? Anything to say?
Yeah, it's just, I want to say, but I can't say. Yeah. Yeah, very sorry that I didn't listen to you.
That you didn't listen to me.
Yeah. That last time in Thailand.
Last time in
Yeah.
Thailand. Last time you were in Thailand.
Yeah, when I was in Thailand. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, give me 1 second because I have to.
And you said stay.
Sorry?
Yeah. When I went to another island.
Yes.
This for you. And you said good luck.
Yes.
Do you think you can do it yourself?
Yes.
You said good luck if you think you can do it yourself.
Yes.
So I realized that the master is needed. Can't do myself.
Yes, it's not easy by oneself, right?
Sorry, a little bit breaking.
It's not easy to do it by yourself, isn't it?
I think it's impossible because only what I have, it's only me. And there's only me, which is illusion. How can I come out with what tools? I don't have any tools to come out from myself, and who will tell me whether I'm right or I'm wrong, or what is going on? How can I trust my mind? Because I have only that. I have only my mind. And the master is needed because master.
Mine is thought. How can we be guided by thought? Do we need to be guided by thought? Do we need to be, I mean...
Yeah. It's only thoughts here.
Hmm?
And only what I have is only me and my thinking and my, even if I realize something, I think maybe it's also the thought, some kind of thinking. So the only master can tell the way, or I don't know, the way out.
I don't know about master.
Can't rely on my.
I don't know about master. I don't consider myself a master. But I know that the mind doesn't exist.
Yeah.
And I Mind is very misguiding. Mind is only thought. That's what mind is thought. Nothing else but thought. Even perceptions are thought. It's imagination, imaginary is an image. Whether it is considered to be physical or mental, it is image. Image means imagine, right? Imagination. It's the result of the imaginary power of oneself. It's amazing because the imaginary power of oneself doesn't allow us to know oneself as we actually are, which is nothing but consciousness. And if we are not capable to discriminate between the thought and the one that is conscious or aware of the thought, then we are going to be caught in thoughts forever. We're going to be trapped in a mental loop.
Did you say discriminate between the the thoughts?
Mhm.
Yeah, discriminate between the thoughts and the one who is
Conscious
not the thoughts.
or aware of the thought, yeah. See, even if we follow the logic of this, I am conscious of the body, right? I am conscious of the mind. I am conscious of energy. I am conscious of this and that, right? I am conscious of this body. I am conscious of this mind. I am conscious of energy. I am conscious of ignorance, like deep sleep. See? And then I am cannot be this. Can you see that? I am
I
conscious.
can see that.
I am conscious means I am consciousness. See? This consciousness, I am.
So is it real?
Is real, yeah.
Is it also in other thoughts?
Sorry?
Is it consciousness or how to I am conscious? It's sort of like that
No,
I am conscious about something. Is it
no. I
is
am
it also
I am
imagine?
no, I am using thoughts to explain it. But it's not the thought I am conscious. I am consciousness. Is the knowledge of being conscious or consciousness. Being is conscious. You are conscious of the awakened state. You are conscious of the dream state. And you are conscious of the dreamless state, right? All these three states that you are conscious of collectively are the mind. These are three states of mind. And you are conscious of them. You are conscious of them, you are consciousness. Can you see the logic of that?
I understand that I'm conscious about my thoughts. Yeah, I'm conscious about, but I'm conscious about, you said the third one, like
Whatever it is, it doesn't matter what it is, body, mind, energy, ignorance. You are conscious of anything, right?
yeah.
Then who are you? What consciousness?
So that is it.
That's it. The idea is to know yourself as consciousness. See? Self-knowledge is what is required. And self-knowledge is only possible if all my attention falls on myself. In that what I know right here, right now as I. Now, I know that I am, but I am not aware of what I am actually means or actually is. Because I'm more interested in thoughts, objects, sensory perception, body conditions, energy levels, or whatever it is, right? I am more interested about something. I am not interested in myself. If I ignore everything, any phenomenon, whether it's physical, mental, or of any other kind, the attention will follow myself automatically to the only thing that I really know I am, to the only certainty that I have, that I am, right? And the idea is to bring all our attention to oneself, so we can know oneself as we actually are. The mind will play many tricks to distract you. One must be capable to ignore it, not to be distracted, and to remain as much as we can self-aware. If I get distracted, fine, no problem. And you have to remember to remain self-aware, to be self-aware. That's basically that. But what happened is that during the day, duties, world experiences, world events, right? Personal circumstances, right? Phenomenon in general, we get distracted. We have the tendency to forget oneself.
Do you think different practices like concentration, developing concentration will help?
Yeah, but eventually you have to become self-aware. Practices are good, but they are limited. And they depend on the practicer. See, it keeps the practicer practicing, and the practicer is me, the ego, mind, person, or individual. See, all these practices will not dissolve the idea of being a person, an individual, the ego, or the mind, or whatever you like to call it.
But this practice, like when I try to be aware every time about myself, it's also I could say it's a type of a practice.
You
So
call it,
there's all.
as long as you do it, call it whatever you like. You can call it sadhana, practice, self-inquiry, self-investigation, self-awareness, self-attention. Call it whatever you like. But not only call it, do it. Implement it.
But in this also there is someone who wants to, yeah, someone who will,
Yes.
who is doing that.
Someone is looking to itself. If this someone looks at itself,
Yeah.
it appears. So the idea of me being the body disappears. I begin the inquiry believing I am the body. I am the body is the mind. That thought is the mind. I am the body, right? That's a thought, isn't it? I am the body.
Yeah.
I begin the inquiry. as if I am the mind. Right? So I am looking at myself. If I look at myself, this idea of myself will disappear. And myself, as what I actually am, it will reveal itself. Itself. It will reveal itself by itself, to itself, as I am.
So as I understood correctly, to look into the thoughts, emotions, and also at the, as I understood, I have to look into the thoughts, emotions, and everything appearing,
No,
as well as to the one who is looking.
no, you will be aware of all that. You cannot not be aware of anything. You cannot not be conscious of anything because you cannot not be the consciousness that you are. So thought appears, emotion appears, feeling appears. Whatever it is that appears and disappears, I'm not concerned about that. I am concerned about who is conscious of all of it. I. Then who is this I?
Yeah.
And the I ego, the I thought, the I person will disappear. And the I consciousness will remain. Together with the knowledge of being that consciousness. Being consciousness. Consciousness is being, being is consciousness.
Is it like a gradual process, or is just
No, it's
I put my attention as disappear?
It's a radical process.
Radical.
Yeah, it's instant.
Sudden.
Yes. It's like when you switch on the light, automatically darkness disappears. When the light of inquiry or self-investigation is on, the ego disappears.
And then again, it's grabs.
Yes, most surely. It's very rare that the ego disappears once for all. Ramana Maharshi, few others. The ego has a tendency to come back because perhaps some tendencies, unfulfilled desires, ideas, thoughts, mental projections. Yeah, I believe that I still have something to do in this world, something to accomplish, right? Something to get, to achieve, to attain. And that will bring the ego back. And then when the ego is back, all these tendencies, desires, thoughts, belief, projects, right? Mental projections, right? They will, again, try to control the activities of the body. The body will follow the mind. The body will be carried away by the mind. The body will find itself here and there doing this and that, conditioned by such, conditioned by the mind, by the ego mind.
And it is all illusion. We don't have to follow it.
No. The mind as the ego, as I, disappears. Right? That belief disappears. But we don't lose the capacity to think. We don't lose one's memory. We don't lose the capacity to feel. But there is no identity with it, right? And this mind is not conditioned by the past, see, by its preconceived ideas, right? It's a spontaneous thought process and is completely practical. There is no expectation, right, about the result of the action or the thought or the words, right? And all this physical and mental activity will no longer leave imprints, right? We can talk for a while. I will suggest you to. There is a weekend now for me. 2 days, no talk. Monday and Tuesday, there are no talks, right? There's no satsang, whatever you like to call it, right? Maybe you would like to review this conversation, right?
I would like.
It's easy to get carried away by the mind again. Easy, 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 easy. If you get distracted, if you forget the intention, so to speak, of attaining self-knowledge, then we can move. It's like I go to the street with intention to buy an ice cream, and on the way I think about something else, and I go and buy something else. See, I forget my original intention, right? And this must be the priority. That must be the self-awareness is the priority.
What was the how to say? What was pushing you towards that? That you will not forget to go to ice cream. What was pushing you to that?
Suffering.
Intense. You had intense suffering.
So intense, I just wanted to die.
Is it like it was the personality or what? Your personality was like this?
Oh, it was a state of dispassion when you don't see any meaning in life anymore, that you become aware of the temporariness of experiences, of relationships, of money, of health, of pleasure, of entertainment, of knowledge, right? And I try a lot of things, right? In any aspects of life. I was fairly young. I was 28, 29 years old, I believe, when I said, what else is there to do in this world? Because if it is about all this, I did it and I'm still empty. Even I became one of the most renowned shamans and spiritists of the country, right? And my teachers were basically the founders of this movement in Venezuela. And I said, even handling the psychic powers and all that stuff, still I am not happy. So I feel empty. So I thought that the only thing that could fulfill my life was to reunite myself, to go back to God, to go back to the source. And when this longing for death, okay, because death is just the death of the ego, right? When this fire lights up within oneself, then a guru appears. Then I found myself in India. And I was introduced to self-inquiry. Actually, because I didn't have basically no knowledge of spirituality as I speak about it here. So I had glimpses, but I couldn't match the experience with the concept because I didn't have any concept that I could compare my experience with, right? And it was nice, but I found myself looking at my body, looking at my thoughts, wow, see, spontaneously. But the ego will come back. And I say, no, I want this and I want this permanently. And then I found this man to whom I explained this that happens to me, and he introduced me to self-inquiry. I asked only one question in satsang. He gave me one answer, and I didn't ask for anything else. That's it. I was told and absorbed it. I didn't know I could do it there and then. Otherwise, I will go for it right there. And I was not interested in anything else that he said to anybody. I was not interested in any knowledge or any teaching that he was speaking about. I was not interested in the questions of other people because that is none of my business, right? This is their question. This is their problem. So I was told only this. I was told, ask this question to yourself deeply. Who am I? Bring the attention from the seen to the seer. The seen will disappear. The seer will disappear. And what will remain is the act of seeing, experience as simply being. I just fold my hands and I kept quiet and I said, thank you, because I want this to be permanent. And this is the way to make it permanent. That's all. And I'm not interested in anything else. He told me this around 10:15, 10:13 a.m. That was 1999. Okay, I don't remember which months, right? I went to India first time in December 1998. I spent 6 months in India. That must be, I came back 6 months, is like in June. And I went back after 2 or 3 months or something like that. And then I was too tired because we used to wake up 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, make long queues and wait for hours, and from 3 hours seated waiting for Baba. And then we will go for breakfast, and then I will go to devotional songs until 9:30, 9:40, and then 10 o'clock was satsang. Satsang finished at 11. I was already tired and hungry, see? And I went to have something to eat. I had a nap. And I came back to the mandir at 3 p.m. We had darshan at 3 p.m. Baba disappeared after 15, 20 minutes. He came out again. Everybody was gone because when Baba is in the interview room, everybody goes away and come back when he's back. And I just stayed. And he came out and I did the inquiry. He was sitting there. And I felt that somehow he was sort of guiding from distance and in silence, just mere gestures. So it took me a few minutes to intellectualize what I was done. Okay, seen, seer. That's the seen. Here is the seer. Right? I will bring the attention to the seer. Focus on myself. And suddenly the idea of myself disappeared. And myself as I am actually just became very clear. The ego
Suddenly or after some time?
This is like this, it's sudden. Like darkness disappears when you switch on the light. There is no process, there is no there is no gradual, it's a radical thing. Ego disappears and the self is revealed. It gets revealed. See, the ego covers the self. You remove the blanket that covers the self, and the self gets revealed as I. See, as I am. Not as something that it is known or experienced, just as it is. And the ego came back. Mostly the spiritual one. See, the good tendencies were still too strong. Few material ones. Few things that I'd like to enjoy or experience or something.
Carrot cake.
Huh?
Carrot cake.
Sorry?
Carrot cake.
Carrot
Your
cake.
favorite. Carrot cake.
Now that's not a problem anymore. I can survive without it. If I have it, welcome. If not, what to do? I think we went together, right, to this nice restaurant in Phuket. I think so. We had lunch
Yes.
together. We had a beautiful carrot cake, nice portion also.
And you said that if I can enjoy carrot cake and coffee, what to do on this planet? What else to do on this planet,
Yes, see,
on this earth?
when the ego is gone, you don't see anything as separate from yourself. Everything is yourself. There is nothing but yourself. There is nothing but I. And when you know what is the nature of the world, right, then you can enjoy it if you wish. It's harmless, right? The world is no longer a prison. It's a fun park. You are no longer trapped in the illusion, right? Is there? You are conscious of it. There's no way out, right? If I put a banana in my mouth, I can't help it.
So
The flavor of banana will be felt by the tongue. The tongue will send the message to the brain and all that stuff. You can't help it, right? What is this? What is there as it is, right? If I bang my head with something, ouch, it's painful, right? You can't help it. There is no way out from the illusion. See, there is only the way out of the idea that the illusion is separate from reality, which is no other than oneself. That's basically this. This is non-duality. There is no second entity apart from oneself named the world. If the world is oneself, the only thing that you see is yourself, right?
and there was a time when it became permanent. Did you have like certain experience that some I don't know, like Ramana Maharshi, he was describing he was dying, feeling like he's dying.
Well, he was feeling that he was dying. I was feeling that I wanted to die.
Yeah. But did you had that experience of dying?
Before.
That you're dying? Like
when I was a teenager, I could hear, I was run by a car and I could hear people. Does anybody know this boy? It's not breathing, right? No pulse. And I could hear all that.
no, I'm talking about experience of like
Yes, yes.
some masters.
Yes, the ego, sometimes the ego, the death of the ego is an agony, right? It can come with discomfort, physical sensations. I don't want to speak too much about it because it may not happen to anybody. See, I don't like to speak about my experience because people may take it as a measuring tool.
Guidance.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm not going through this yet. I haven't experienced that yet. Then I must be in the wrong path, right?
So to make it permanent, I want to ask whether there should be some kind of experience, or it's like a gradual process and you will not notice even.
No. You switch on the light, darkness disappears. The light may go off and darkness come back. That's all.
Yeah.
The mind can hold very dear tendencies, and these are imprinting the body, right? In the very cells in the body, in the brain, in the DNA, call it whatever you like, right?
Yeah.
And then if an energy that tries to burn that down, and the mind may try to hold it, right? And it can be, you can feel like a struggle, see, like the mind is clinging, right, to something. And on the other hand, there is a massive power, okay, dissolving that. So in some cases, it may be quite agonizing. Physically, right? It's a physical struggle. The mind is physical. It's a subtle thing, but it still is physical. It still is material. The body you can touch, the mind you can't. But it's a physical phenomenon. It's a subtle, it's called, this is why it's called subtle body. Right? It's a gross body, it's subtle body.
So the suffering is real as well.
Oh, yes. Well, it's mental. It appears to be real. And it is sensing the body. You can't deny it. So I just wanted to go. So I didn't know that at that time that I was talking to myself, because God is I am, right? That's the name of God. I am. Not He is. And then I said, Lord, I just want to just bring me back home. So I'm just going to come back to you. There's nothing here for me anymore, I thought. And I said, take me back home and then bring me ever again here. Why you brought me here in the first place?
And you stay there, yeah?
Where?
You at home, at your home. You
No,
wanted to go there.
you are home. You are the very consciousness, the very God that you want to go back to.
How did you keep staying there in that place?
You cannot stay in that place. This is what you are. We ask this question as the ego because we believe consciousness is a place, something that we're going to arrive, merge with, reunite. It is what we are. Right? We are both. We are the ego and consciousness. But we believe to be only the ego. We don't know oneself as we actually were. The ego is what we think we are. How can you stay in what you are? I can stay somewhere. How can I stay in what I am? How can I be out of what I am? Can you see that? Makes no sense.
Yeah.
I cannot be in and out of myself. Right? How can I be in and out of myself? I am
It's just the
I am Caesar. I may believe I am Peter. I don't have to become Caesar, achieve Caesar, experience Caesar, go back to Caesar. I don't have to forget I am Peter, right? I have to remove this thought I am Peter. If I remove the thought I am Peter, then I become aware that I always been Caesar. But if I remove the thought I am the body, see, I become aware that I have been always consciousness.
so how that process was in you? How is it was
There
the
was,
light on, off?
I just told
How
you,
it became permanent?
permanent by every time the thought I am Caesar, which is brought back, sponsored by sponsored by the tendencies. This program is sponsored by, no? Caesar is sponsored by tendencies, mainly the spiritual ones. See, spiritual life, monastic life, celibacy, India, dress in a particular clothes, behaving in a particular way, like the sadhus, like the saints, all that stuff. So my identity will be based mostly on that.
Mm.
So I was again conditioned, right, by the so-called auspicious tendencies. Couple of material ones, perhaps, 2, 3. But it was mainly the spiritual ones. And they will bring the ego back.
How did you see that?
Because you see it, you become aware that you again believing that you are someone else. See?
Yeah. So I
Spiritual,
don't know. I'm repeating again myself.
a spiritual person. Then
Mm.
we have to keep on getting rid of this idea by bringing the attention back to oneself. To bring the attention from the idea of oneself to oneself. That's
I
how,
understand.
until the ego is gone completely.
One day.
Yes, one day. Don't ask me when, because I didn't write it down in a piece of paper. July 2000 and something.
Is it one day? That one day, is it because it became more like you spent more time in real Caesar, and it's like got accumulated, and then you realize.
You don't spend more time in real Caesar. See, you spend more time knowing you are Caesar. You spend more time knowing your consciousness. Actually, there is in that state, there is the idea of time is gone.
Yeah, I'm just interested about that period, because at the moment I have like here, there, here, there, here, there, like this continuously. So just want to know how to make it permanent.
You can't make it permanent. It is already permanent. What is
Yeah.
permanent,
So,
what is permanent is the removal of what covers oneself.
yeah.
Oneself is permanent, already permanent. But it is
How to?
permanently covered by the ego. You have to remove it. Right?
Yeah, permanently.
There is a blanket
Permanently.
and there is a couch. See, you can say there is no couch. What is the couch? Right? Remove this and there is a couch. Right? So you don't bring the couch.
Yeah.
You don't bring it anew. It's not something new. It was always there. You just remove what is covering, right? But if you cover it, oh, the couch is the couch disappeared again. It hasn't disappeared. It's there. It can't disappear. It's just covered again by this stupid blanket of me.
So we have keep on removing the blanket.
The blanket is the thought, I am the body. Not even the knowledge that we have. I am the body. You remove the thought, I am the body, and the knowledge, I am the self. Not the thought, I am the self. The knowledge of being the self. It becomes evident, obvious.
And then when you discover that, you kind of got attracted to that and wanted to be in that field.
Sorry?
And that attention went to that.
Not to that, to yourself.
To the self, yeah.
Not to the self, to oneself. The self is I. See, it's not something that you pay attention to permanently. See, you become aware of being the self permanently.
Yeah.
That means the ego is completely destroyed. So the knowledge of being the self becomes permanent and effortlessly.
So one day it became effortless for you.
Yes. Permanent, effortless.
I was just trying to catch that period, that moment when it becomes like that.
Yeah, how can you catch this in mind?
No, yeah.
The mind cannot see this. Nothing can see the self. And the self cannot see itself. To see the self is to be the self, right? The self is what sees. What sees cannot see itself. What sees is. We are what sees. Yeah? So to know what sees is to be what sees, right?
Mm. How is your teacher help you?
Making me can become aware of the mental traps that I was falling myself in. Especially, my ego was spiritual ego, mostly. Like pointed out, there it is. Somehow. Sometimes kindly, sometimes harshly. Whatever I needed at that time. Actually, you don't remove the ego. To remove the ego means to become aware that it doesn't exist. Healing the ego means to become aware that it doesn't exist. It's like when you see a rope, you go to the kitchen, it is dark, and there is a rope on the floor, and you believe it is a snake, right? What you see is a snake. And you are afraid of the snake, and then I want to get rid of the snake, I want to kill the snake. But you don't see, because you're going to approach to the snake to kill it. You don't want the snake to run away, right? And if it runs away, you want to know where it runs away. And then you say, I will switch on the light, see, to see the snake properly. And when you switch on the light, you see no snake, right? You see only a rope. So how can you kill a snake or get rid of a snake that never existed?
Yeah.
See what the mind is, and you will find that there is no mind. I'm here just to make you become aware of your wrong thinking. That's all.
That's the
They
role
conclude.
of the teacher.
Oh, do you mean this? Do you mean see this thought? You mean say no. Do you mean no? No. See, it's to make it clear for you. Dennis, I'm coming just now. This Dennis is gone. No, still is. I'm coming just now. I can see that you raise your hand. Just give me some time. If you understand this clearly, the main basic concept, there are few, not many. Everything becomes easier. Nice to see you again.
Okay.
I know you.
Thank you, Cesar.
You're my friend on Facebook, and now and then your actualizations or whatever it is will appear on my wall. I said, there she is, here, now there, now there, running around like a hamster in a wheel. What to do? No problem. Good to see you again. I give
Thank you.
a chance to Denise now, okay?
Thank you.
Yeah, well,
Hello, Caesar.
how are you?
I'm good, mostly. How are you?
Okay.
I listened carefully what you said to her, and from what I understood, the key feature is actually to make your mind switch attention from what is being perceived to the one who is perceiving this.
Correct.
Images, thoughts, different objects in mind. My question is it actually possible that some kind of built-in evil forces within will prohibit completely mind actually to do this simple thing? Because from what I experience, sometimes I can practice during an hour, just asking and asking for whom the thought came, and really nothing happens.
Yeah. Go on.
In the very best scenario, sometimes I feel like there is some kind of light, metaphorically, come into mind, and this perception kind of become quicker, become more sharp. And that's all. Some time can pass, and my mind already is completely filled with memories and different trails of these memories and different horror images. For example, one of them is actually seeing my dead parent, which is been gone for a few years already. And I already have a chance to experience how his or different other spirits touches me, talks to me, and it talks not like human talk to each other, but like this, a face in very small proximity, with no personal borders at all, with no respect to this kind of borders. And also some pain involved, and also my body make a lot of involuntary movements all the time, like this and this and this, and all of that came with meditation. And I'm afraid now that maybe now, after a year of very extensive practice, I practice it maybe for 7 years or so, not like this, but mostly with different other practices. But for this year, I'm practicing hard, like hours and hours every day. And it really seemed that now I am even more on the bigger distance than I was before this year, because of so much stress, and so my sleep become way worse. Sometimes different spirits try to kind of even rape me in my bed and stuff like this. So I still have a hope that this practice will win, that I will be able eventually to do this thing, as you told me, to be focused on myself instead of these images. But I'm still kind of worrying. What if I'm not? What if I'm doing something wrong? What if in my specific case I have to follow some strict rules, like maybe to go to a Zen monastery? I don't know. So probably, if to summarize, I think, is this practice and is this method permanently asking yourself for whom the thought came, spelling mantras like I exist, I am consciousness manifested in blissfulness, meditating every day for an hour or two? Is it universal? Like, is it, will it actually win eventually?
Okay. All these entities, whether they consider to be demoniac or angelical, they are only in the mind. And they are the mind. See? Whether you consider it to be demoniac or angelically, they are the mind. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And they are not real. You give reality because you give reality to yourself as the experiencer of them. Right?
Well, what is the big difference if I can experience them, if they can touch me almost not like 100%, but maybe 15, 20, 30% of intensity, as it was a real person.
You're afraid of them.
I'm just annoyed and depressed because I can't make them go away.
Because you want them to go away. If it is real, so you can something that is real. A dog is there barking. See, and I want the dog to go away, right? But this is not real. But when you say I want them to go away, you must believe they are there first. So they feed on that. See? They feed on the fact that you give them reality. Are you following?
Yes, you think that if I believe that they are real, they become stronger and they feed on it.
So, first of all, you are consciousness, and as consciousness, you're untouched by anything. If you believe that you are the body, then you will be touched by anything. You must have been practicing all sorts of things before, isn't it?
I also practiced so-called spiritual autolysis. It was introduced
Exactly.
by
That's what I'm thinking about. You put yourself into that, and now you don't know how to get out of that.
I hope that everything will end with self-realization.
Yes, it's possible. It's possible, but you must have some clear understanding of this knowledge too, right? So the other mistake you're making is interpreting self-inquiry as raising the question, who am I?
Mhm.
Not a mental question, intellectual game. Is to bring the attention to oneself. If you bring the attention to oneself, even if you're aware of phenomenon is ignored. Are you following?
Yes, I'm trying.
So is the
I
body?
also can put different feelings in my mind.
No.
For example,
Either you do the inquiry or you do something else.
whenever it happens, I raise this question: for whom this came? Who perceives this?
But I told you it's not a question.
But what can I do?
I just told you, but you are not listening.
I'm sorry.
See, you are conscious of the body, right?
Mostly.
You are conscious of the mind, yes or no? Your thoughts.
Yes.
Or angels, or whatever it is, you are conscious of it. Right?
I'm perceiving this, yes.
Okay. Then ignore all what is perceived and bring the attention. Don't ask the question. Bring the attention to the perceiver. Who is the perceiver? I. You know I am, right? Hello?
How to bring attention? Is this some kind of action?
Listen carefully. You are asking me something, and I cannot answer what you want me to answer. I cannot say yes or no. So you answer to my question. You know that you are, yes or no?
Yes.
The only thing that you actually know is that you are. And this knowledge cannot be given to you by anyone. Yes? I know I am. I know I exist. See? I have the knowledge of existence. I simply bring the attention to that very knowledge of existence. Bring the attention to yourself, to what you know as I. Even if you still perceive thoughts, gods, demons, body, objects, I'm not interested in that. I don't want to get rid of anything. Nor I want to bring anything or to change anything, right? Or to transcend anything. You're going to simply ignore all that. Bring attention to my own self.
I was thinking that the purpose of the practice itself, of questioning, is actually to do this, to complete this action, to make it true, to bring attention to yourself by asking questions.
No, no. See, you read in Ramana's book or you listen to somebody, who am I? It's not a question. The question, who am I, implies, see, to know myself, right? To know myself, I need to bring the attention to myself, not to ask the question, who am I? It's about remaining self-aware, self-conscious, whatever you like to call it. And don't allow oneself to be distracted by anything. Anything can be there. I'm not interested in that. Even if God is, when I was doing the inquiry, I had in front of me a Purna avatar. It has been manifested in human form only twice. But that is God in human form. And I discovered at that moment, you are seeing, and I am the seer. And he was happy that I was becoming aware of this fact. So you are an illusion too. So even if God is in front of you, I don't pay attention to him, I pay attention to myself. And he was happy when I was thinking about that.
But how you can pay attention to something that is not visible or can be felt or heard?
It doesn't matter, you know that you are. Yes or no?
I guess not. My mind is empty if there is no distractions in it. For example,
No,
do
you
you even
want
remember or know
you want to change the practice for something that you believe is the practice, and you expect me to say yes, and I will say no. If your mind is empty, then what is the problem?
like
Then the mind is not empty. It's still full of nonsense, right?
so okay, maybe this thing bringing attention to myself is some kind of some kind of thing that I must hold all the time, but in my mind, and you can describe me how to do this, right?
In your mind.
Like something I have to carry all the time, like you will carry a book or a note or a sheet. Is this
Your mind now is cleverly imagining that we have to hold this and whatever. What is so difficult about being self-aware?
what is so difficult about what?
To be self-aware.
I don't know. How can I focus on something that I can see?
You cannot see yourself. Please try to understand. You know that you are, yes or no?
Well, I guess this answer is no then.
Sorry?
Well, I guess this answer is no. Like conceptually, I know that I exist and somebody perceiving thoughts and images.
Okay. And this is I, right?
Right.
I exist. So I know that I exist. I know I am, yes or no? You are already aware of yourself. You just haven't paid attention to it carefully. Because your attention goes to whatever things that happens. A twitch in the body, something that appears in your face, these thoughts, horrible images, beautiful images. Then the attention goes somewhere. You have to bring it back to yourself. and the rest will follow. The rest will happen by default. You understand?
Is it possible that a person don't know how to do it at all, don't know how to control his attention?
Is that person you, or we are talking about someone else?
Myself. Is it possible that I will not be able actually to, is that if I don't know how to do it, is it possible that I don't know how to control my attention?
Why do you doubt that you can do it? You think, maybe I will not be able to do it, and then if you believe that thought, you won't.
Because all the time I was conceived that if I do this practice, if I ask question, if I repeat mantras, then I'm controlling my attention. Then
And you are misguiding yourself.
Okay. So it is that simple that you can't describe me how to do it, how to switch my attention.
Yes. What is going to make it difficult are the distractions, right? Mental distraction. All phenomena are mind. Even sensory perception is mind. Phenomenon in general, whether it is physical, mental, energetic, angelic, demon, whatever it is that you know is the mind. It's an illusion. You believe it's real to begin with. You believe that you are part of it, that body. That's all.
I believe that I perceive the whole image, that the world is an illusion, the body do not exist, the world do not exist. It's all a visual image that is complemented by physical perception, by perception of pain and different mind mechanisms. And all of this combined creates the illusion of the world. It's all Maya. And
Yeah.
there is somebody who created it, somebody who perceiving it.
And that is you, but not as a person, not as an ego, but as the self, as consciousness. And as consciousness, you are unaffected by any of it. If you project here on the wall a demon, is the wall affected by it?
If you will project your image on the wall,
If you project an image of evil on a cinema screen, what happened to the cinema screen? Do they become evil?
no.
If you project angels on the cinema show screen, the screen become angelical?
No.
If you project war, what happened to the screen?
There is a war, image of the war on the screen.
That's all. The screen remains unaffected, right?
Right.
And you are the screen, the substratum, where all these illusions are being projected. So you have to know yourself as that. So now you believe yourself to be something else. This is why you have to bring attention to yourself, to know yourself as you actually are.
Okay. Thank you. I
Well,
heard that it's not possible actually to you give me clear explanation how to control my attention. It's not possible. It's just
not
this.
to control. Forget about this word control. There's nothing to control.
Okay, maybe I can, for example, remind myself it. Just repeating over and over, I exist, I'm not
You
a
are
person.
giving an advice, and you say, oh, okay, maybe I can do this and that. So you ask me for advice, but then you're going to do whatever you think is right. What can I do?
No, actually, if you will say something that I will understand, that I will just follow this instead.
Didn't you? I thought you understood. Paying attention to yourself.
Bring attention to myself, but I don't know how to do it. Because, for example, I'm not even sure that I'm controlling my attention anyhow. If I don't exist, then something else, the mind controlling my attention.
I told you, forget about controlling your attention and you speak, I don't know if I can control my attention. See, you have too many ideas about many things. And then what I'm telling you cannot go through because he finds my words are facing the wall of your beliefs.
Okay, I think it's possible.
Hmm?
I think it's absolutely possible.
No, I'm telling you, it's happening. It's obvious.
Okay, thank you.
No, wait. Where are you now?
Hmm?
In which part of the world are you now?
I'm now staying in Canada as a refugee.
Good. I'm happy for you. Where you are originally from?
Ukraine. I'm originally from Ukraine.
Where in Ukraine?
A small city in the middle called Cherkasy. It's near Kiev.
Did we meet in Ukraine?
No, actually, we never met in Ukraine.
Anywhere else?
No. I had a chance to see a couple of your satsangs at the Urban Encyclopedia about non-duality.
Where?
In the Urban Culture Encyclopedia about in an article about non-duality.
Must be
I
a
have seen a couple of your satsangs.
Russian website or something, no?
Yep.
Right here, right now, whatever you conceive to be I, try to just place your attention on it, on yourself. Just try. 30 seconds at least. Leave the microphone open. You are the seer, right? And see the seer. Don't ask the question, who is the seer? Just see the seer. At least for 30 seconds. Let's see what happens. You close your eyes, you see darkness. You are,
In my case, no.
huh?
In my case, not darkness. I see these creatures around me
Okay.
that come to me and
Who cares about the creatures? See? You remain as the seer. Be the seer. Don't try to do anything about anything. So you can see that what you are is untouched by any of it. Then you will see also that all that is nothing but an illusion. Then open your eyes. You can do it with your eyes open. I'm here. You go on. Let's see what happens. Just give yourself some time and then we can see what happens.
Okay.
No,
I'm not doing anything.
Huh?
I'm not doing anything right now.
Good. Just be. Don't close your eyes.
Huh?
Don't close your eyes. Keep them open. Don't close your eyes. Keep them open.
Hmm.
Open your eyes. Don't close.
My, so- I'm sorry. I'm sorry for this.
It's okay. You're closing them again. Just look at me. Just look here. All this is because there is a predisposition on you. Are you following?
All this because of predisposition on me.
Yes, because you created that. See, you entered into that world, right? So it may take a while to get out of there. So your interest in all that may begin to.
It was not on purpose anyhow. I was meditating on my knees against the wall like this for hours. And I was repeatedly asked a question like, am I on my knees right now? Am I a body? Am I on the street right now? Am I named Dennis? Am I 31 years old? and I saw different creatures, and it was way more intense than it's right now. I was seeing different stuff, like if I saw somebody moving his legs, like like this, I could close one eye and I could see different movements around around his neck, like some creatures were trying to
Before,
put some kind of rope, and other one tried to remove it.
before that, were you practicing any Kundalini yoga, energy something, some sort of contact with entities or whatever?
I guess the answer is both yes and no, because raising this question was removing some kind of tension from my neck back in the days. And yes, after that, I saw some of these visions. I thought that maybe these ideas are kind of stored in my body, and I just discovered this practice during meditation. And then, then I started seeing entities. You
say you discovered this practice during meditation. What practice do you discover?
Just repeatedly asking questions in your mind, kind of challenging.
This is thinking.
Yes.
Then how can you created something with your thoughts, and that became, you repeatedly did it and created a predisposition, right? So
okay.
Slowly,
so it will take time to get out.
Sorry?
So it will take time to get out.
Yeah, you have to develop a different predisposition to counterbalance that predisposition. It is to ignore phenomenon in general.
Okay.
If you close your eyes, then it's more difficult. I noticed that.
Yes, of course.
You keep your eyes open. See, the eyes are closed when we need to rest or to sleep. There's no need to close our eyes for any other purpose than that.
Sounds reasonable.
Meditation is basically on oneself. See, we meditate on the meditator. See? And the meditator becomes the object of meditation.
Is there at least something that can make this process, meditating on self, more understandable for me? Is there something that can help? Maybe some questions, some mindsets, some habits.
The idea is
something that can help me understand it.
It's no mental set. You have to step away from thoughts to know that you are beyond thoughts, right? If you're going to think about something, think, I am the self.
If I am thinking about something, I must think I am this self. I am this.
Not this. I am the self. Hold this thought, I am the self. You think, I am. See?
So
If you
repeatedly think,
you are
I,
addicted to thinking. So you are asking me for something to think about. That's a predisposition, right? You're addicted to thinking, mental practices. And mental practices, especially if we create them, right? They are very misleading and they can be even very dangerous. So the mind can create anything.
I think that I can just sit without any questions, without doing anything. Will it be helpful if I will just sit like we sit in front of each other?
In front of what?
Like we did it 5 minutes ago. If I will not raise any question, if I will just sit and will be a perceiver.
You remain still, you can remain still straight away without doing anything, just being. You will find that being, your own being, is nothing but the self. Good,
Хорошо.
good. Where in Canada are you? Which city?
I am in Canada for 2 years already right now.
Which place?
Winnipeg.
Good.
Thinking about maybe relocating to Argentina.
Sorry?
Thinking about maybe relocating to Argentina.
Why not? Less cold. So not thinking will counterbalance thinking, right?
We'll see.
Good.
Thank you, Cesar.
You're welcome. Ok, nos vemos el miércoles. See you on Wednesday. Next lesson is on Wednesday. Okay.
Nos vemos mañana,
Ah,
César.
no, mañana. See you tomorrow. Sí, mañana es domingo. Tomorrow is Sunday. Sorry, sorry. Pensé que ya era domingo. Nos vemos mañana. Ok. Adiós.